This movement that we're a part of is an intergenerational movement, and the voices of young people are important and center. Please give it up to a fierce young leader that works against trafficking. She's a member of her local community board, politically active, one of the most eloquent young people in this entire country. Give it up to Victoria Pinnell.
As I stand before you this afternoon, there is something that I must say. Thank you, God, for January 21st, where the march, protest, rally, gathering, whatever you want to call it, was not only the largest in the history of the United States, but also the most peaceful. That is the power of women. That is why I know that if a woman had been elected president November 8th, we wouldn't be in this 47-day and counting nightmare that gets worse with every tweet from president number 45. Hello to my sisters here and across the country, and to my brothers who are man enough to stand beside us on this International Women's Day and our own National Day Without a Woman. In the past, I have used this day to talk about modern-day slavery and child sex trafficking, something that the current president knows about all too well. We have come together because we know a dictator and a democracy cannot share the same space. When decisions are made based on ego rather than common sense, you won't get anything but chaos. As a young woman, I am extremely concerned about my future and the future of my peers under this administration. As I prepare for college, I'm mindful that advancements made to help students obtain a higher education is in jeopardy. When we are looking at reforms to take away free lunches from children, food out of a child's mouth, I shudder to think what else is coming that will affect our educational system in a negative way. Number 45 used the gathering of representatives from historical black colleges and universities not to support educational opportunities, but as a photo opportunity and for Kellyanne Conway to get even more comfortable on the Oval Office couch. When you have a president who thinks Frederick Douglass is alive and a Secretary of Education who is totally clueless on a public school system, you and I have every right to be angry. What we are not going to do is let fear paralyze us and be inactive. One of the biggest acts I can do and you can do to help bring on change is to vote. Never let anyone deter you from your right to vote. Not voting is not a productive form of resistance. You have more than just candidates on a ballot. You have local and state issues to vote on. With courts upholding states' voting ID laws, they're trying to make it harder than ever to exercise your right to vote. If voting wasn't so important, they wouldn't be trying this hard to stop you. Churches and civil rights organizations, I ask of you today to help those who need assistance in obtaining identification, transportation to the polls, or whatever is needed for our brothers and sisters to be able to cast their votes. As I talk about voting, I'm reminded of the history of bloodshed and the loss of life in the fight for the right to vote. It's a powerful reminder that fighting requires sacrifice. Some poor woman right now may have lost a job because she joined women across the nation in solidarity to say, today is the day I stand up for my rights. Today is the day she said no to being passed over for promotion because she is not a male. Today is the day she tells America that the drug problem we face now, Trump labels a health epidemic unlike the 80s when it was a drug epidemic. Today is the day she accepts incomplete on her school assignment so she can stand before you to say young people will sacrifice and do whatever it takes to show this administration that we have just as much determination and tenacity as the freedom fighters of the 60s. Today, she says no to solitary confinement in prisons, while those who can afford high-priced lawyers receive probation or mansion confinement. Today, she says you cannot grab my vagina without my permission and think it is wanted or acceptable. Today, she accepts the fact that Americans of all races, color, economic status, ages, sexual orientations will continue to come together, link arm in arm, stand shoulder to shoulder to build a human wall to protect our basic human rights, say yes to democracy and no to dictatorship. America has derailed. And there is nothing great about a derailment. Women, it is up to us to get America back on track and to that destination often talked about but never reached, the station named liberty and justice for all. Yes, we can.
They ask us, where do we find hope? Where do we find optimism? Our optimism is in the young people like Victoria Pinnell. So, remember this day, March 8th, 2017, because maybe in just a few years, you may be going to the polls to put a woman like Victoria Pinnell. When I say a day without a woman, you say a day without me. You ready? A day without a woman.
A day without me.
A day without a woman.
A day without me.
A day without a woman.
A day without me.
A day without a woman.
A day without me.
So, y'all want to raise your fist with me a little bit? You feeling powerful today? I don't believe you. You feeling powerful today? All right, so if you're like me, I got ADHD. I don't like to be in one state. I just don't like to be. So we are all going somewhere together. Y'all going? Y'all want to come? All right. So y'all gotta listen really carefully. So we're going to be walking up the north side here, 59th Street. We're gonna make a right on Broadway and a right on 61st Street. And we're gonna make a human wall around the Trump International Hotel. So that's news to you and everybody else that's out here. So I want you to watch out for those who are walking around you. Watch the children. Mind the elders that are in the group. Mind our brothers and sisters with disabilities. Take care of each other. And we're going to meet you on the other side. So y'all ready?